stock exchanges, cross-listing, and using technology to bring down the barriers that exist and the limitations that are built in by other issues is a very positive thing for you to do. I just thought I should encourage you that on this journey of integrating institutions in our continent, you are not alone. We are with you 100% as leaders in this continent. And therefore, Mr. President, I'm happy that you have learned a few words in Kiswahili. However, I want to warn you that soliciting for any items in Kenya is against the law. So I know Jeff very well, and you have put in a very strong case for him. And certainly your words will not go unnoticed. I have noticed what you have said, and I agree. But it gives me great pleasure to once again join the capital market stakeholders across the continent at the 2023 African Securities Exchange Association Annual Conference. Today, we celebrate 30 years of association and collaboration between the different exchanges in our continent. Kenya is proud to have been among the founders of this great body, which has enhanced the level of knowledge share, cross-border trading, and relationships on the continent. We also meet to celebrate and focus our efforts on the future of financial markets in Africa, recognizing their potential to unlock capital and accelerate economic and business growth across our continent. Stock exchanges play a significant role in mobilizing domestic resources and international capital critical for Africa's economic renaissance. If well harnessed, stock exchanges can be the engine that transforms Africa into a global economic powerhouse and the financial center of the world. And I mean it. It is a reality. Over the last few years, African stock exchanges have seen considerable growth bolstered by reforms undertaken by various countries in different ways. These reforms, such as interest rates liberalization, removal of debt ceilings, enhancement of regulatory environment, as well as restructuring and privatization of state-owned enterprises, acted as a catalyst that saw growth in our markets over the last decade. These reforms notwithstanding, the changing macroeconomic dynamics have affected African stock exchanges, heavily weighing on their growth and impact. As we speak, Africa exchanges remain modest, and their contribution to economic development continues to be marginal. A majority of African stock exchanges face structural hurdles to growth, struggling with liquidity and considerable minimal participation by retail investors. The IPO landscape in Africa further confirms the challenges that our stock exchanges face. The pipeline for IPOs and further offerings in Africa has decreased significantly. With over 40 exchanges in the continent, we should be able to have at least 5 listings per day across the continent. And you know that's not the case. It is against this background that you meet to deliberate on how to solve legacy and emerging challenges facing stock exchanges and stock markets in the continent and explore opportunities to re-establish the competitive edge of public resource markets as an avenue for raising capital in Africa. We all understand that the global economy has changed. Markets have become very uncertain, and we therefore must work on enhancing the efficiency of the capital markets to make it much more resilient to market dynamics. On our part as government, we have taken various steps to revitalize the capital markets. 2 months ago, I did assent to the privatization bill, heralding a paradigm shift in the process of executing privatization of public enterprises by infusing international best practices and, more importantly, cutting off unnecessary bureaucracies that made the privatization process almost grind to a halt, where only one transaction was closed over the last 15 years. Just imagine that. And it was one of the big issues that I really wanted to sort out. And when I went to the stock exchange, I did promise them that the government of Kenya is going to list at the exchange more government entities. Unfortunately, the law became so convoluted that before even we could do that, we had to work on the law first. I'm very happy that we have settled the law, and now we have close to 35 companies, government companies, that some we will be selling outright, others we will be bringing to the stock exchange, and therefore I intend to keep my commitment to the stock exchange and make sure that we use the stock exchange to enable more Kenyans, more Africans, more private sector people to own part of our public entities. I am pleased to hear all the recent developments within the Africa markets facilitated by ASEA, including accelerating the growth and development of Africa's capital markets through various strategic initiatives aimed at creating unified and efficient capital markets across the African continent. ASEA has championed the digitization of African stock exchanges, promoting the use of technology to enhance trading, settlement, and market information dissemination. This digital transformation has significantly improved market accessibility and transparency. ASEA actively supports the issuance and trading of infrastructure and green bond assets that are critical in mobilizing capital for infrastructure development projects in African countries. ASEA has also developed the African Exchange Linkage Project, a trading infrastructure that aims to connect over 30 stockbrokers with the aim of promoting cross-border trading of securities among member exchanges, further enhancing market integration. In this ever-evolving world of finance, where our markets are the lifeblood of our economies, our role in shaping the future is profound. The Africa capital markets, as a collective entity, play a vital role in fostering economic growth, development, and regional integration. I wish to take this opportunity to reflect on some key themes that are of paramount importance in the realm of capital markets, particularly in the context of our continent. Number one is liquidity in our capital markets. Liquidity is the lifeblood of any thriving capital market, and you know that. It ensures that our investors have the confidence and flexibility to buy and sell securities with ease. It is essential for the efficient allocation of capital, which in turn drives economic growth. Liquidity not only attracts domestic investors, but also foreign investors looking for attractive investment opportunities. It is our collective responsibility, therefore, to ensure that our markets remain liquid, transparent, and efficient. The trends we see in today's capital markets indicate a growing demand for improved liquidity, driven by innovative trading platforms, more accessible market information, and the entrance of retail investors into the arena. Embracing these trends, therefore, can be a catalyst for further market development. The other item I want to talk about is cross-border listing. One of the most significant milestones in the African capital markets has been the emergence of cross-border listings. This not only increases the feasibility of our markets, but also facilitates access to a broader pool of investors. It is a testament to our growing integration and our ability to offer more diversified and appealing investment opportunities. As we build at the policy level the integration of African markets using the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, it is important that at that level you also build the integration of our capital markets. It enhances scale. It makes it possible for us to have a bigger pool of investors, bigger pool of resources, and it expands our opportunities across countries. It also enables us to learn from best practice in different countries. It is possible to pick best practice from different countries, as I said earlier, when we are in the same ecosystem. And therefore, ASEA must continuously play the role of pooling exchanges together so that we can pool resources, we can create bigger scale, and be able to even attract others globally. Cross-border listing represents a trend that speaks to the need for market integration, harmonized regulation, and interoperability between exchanges. As we move forward, it is imperative that we continue to foster collaboration across borders to make these listings more seamless and more attractive. I want to speak about the third thing, which is the benefits of capital markets to economies. Capital markets are a thriving force behind economic development. They provide business with the means to raise capital for expansion, for job creation, and even for innovation. Our entrepreneurs and innovators need the support and confidence that only a robust capital market can provide. As we look to the future, let us continue to work together to ensure that capital markets remain a catalyst for economic growth across our continent. The trends in this domain highlight the emergence of impact investing and the importance of financial inclusion. There is a growing recognition that our markets can be a force for good, not just in terms of returns, but in promoting social and economic well-being. This is an exciting shift in perspective, one that we should encourage and embrace. In other words, I'm saying what the capital markets will be doing is not just about the trading, it goes beyond trading numbers. It goes to the realm of enhancing development and social good and creating inclusivity. What a single person or a single company or a single country cannot achieve, we can achieve collectively. And that is what this brings. It brings a society coming together, creating financial inclusion, and making sure that everybody can tap into the good that exists within us. Of course, the final issue I want to have a conversation about is ESG, which is now common to all of us. We now know about environmental sustainability. We know about that we are beyond all these hard facts. We are social human beings. And to be able to move forward, people are continuously now interested in governance. How transparent are we? How accountable are we? Is what we are doing making impact or are these just cold numbers and statistics? Good governance is the foundation of any capital market. Strong corporate governance practices enhance investor confidence and protect the interests of all stakeholders, including the small ones. Furthermore, the growing importance of environmental, social, and governance factors cannot be overstated. These considerations are not only important for ethical reasons, but are becoming vital criteria for investment decisions. Let us continue to promote transparency, accountability, and responsible corporate citizenship across all markets. The trends in governance and ESG reflect a global shift towards more responsible investment practices. Investors, both institutional and individual, are increasingly conscious of the impact of their investments and what impact it has on people and globally. This trend presents an opportunity for African capital markets to position themselves as leaders in sustainable and responsible investing. Let me finally close with one item about climate financing. 2 days ago, I was addressing the EU Parliament on where fate has put us. And it is very interesting that fate has a way of equalizing fortunes. While Africa supported the industrialization of Europe, we gave them all the raw materials they needed, and we bought all the industrial products they manufactured. Now it is their turn. And I was telling them that there is something lawyers call quid pro quo. I don't know exactly what it means, but I know it means something to the extent that we should even out issues, right? So we now have an opportunity, and I want to persuade you, good people, that as leadership in this continent, and when I say leadership, I mean leadership at every level. It's now our turn to position ourselves appropriately. We must get away from the victim corner. We must now position ourselves to the opportunities that exist in the new economic setup. Today, we have assets as a continent, very important assets. We have 60% of the world's renewable energy resources. We have 40% of the world's critical mineral resources. We have 65% of the world's uncultivated arable land. We have the world's largest workforce. And more importantly, we have the world's largest natural resources. We cannot, therefore, position ourselves as a desperate continent with the kind of potential that we have. What we need to do is to position these assets appropriately and work with the rest of the world to even out issues. It is no longer possible to drive the world using fossil fuel resources. Renewable energy is the bullet this time around. And by God's grace, we have the largest resources in that area. And therefore, I was asking Europe, the same way we gave you our raw materials and bought your finished products, it is your turn to provide the capital which we together developed, because our resources, our raw materials helped develop capital in Europe. And because of the opportunity Europe had to develop all this, they also developed technology using our our raw materials, and we supported them by buying their products. So it is now time for them to bring the technology, which we together developed, and the capital, which we together developed, so that we can unlock the potential that exists in our continent and provide them with green products and provide them with an opportunity for us to create opportunities for employment in our own countries so that we avoid negative migration. People going as refugees and all manner of things. It is not something as Africans we are proud of. We're very proud people. We want to work at home. We want opportunities. All these young people in rickety boats going to Europe is because they are looking for opportunity. We can create those opportunities here at home, and that is what we want to do. And a stock exchange becomes a very important instrument of making sure that resources can be agile. We can make it much more easy for resources to flow from one place to another. In the face of a rapidly changing climate, it is our duty to channel resources towards sustainable and climate-resilient investment. Many people are wondering why we are pushing this agenda of climate change. It is because therein lies the opportunity for Africa. Thank God that fossil fuels brought a problem to the world so that we can look at the opportunities that exist in our continent. If there was no trouble with climate change, nobody would want to think about renewable energy. But now that we are all in trouble and nobody is safe, the North is not safe, the South is not safe, East is not anywhere away from this trouble, neither is the West. So we are all in one place. You know, this climate change has levelized all of us. There is no more developing versus developed. We are all facing climate change the same way. And so we have to find a solution together. And that is why we have said we are not going to continue the finger pointing. We don't want to blame game. We don't want North versus South. We must do this together as humanity. The capital markets can be a force of good in this regard by developing innovative financial products that support climate finance. We can contribute a greener, a more sustainable future using our stock exchanges. The time for action, good people, is now. And I urge all market participants to play their part in fostering climate-conscious investments. I want to repeat this. It is very important that you know the opportunity that exists in climate financing. There is a very big opportunity. You must leverage on it to grow our stock exchanges. The trend of climate financing is not just a moral imperative, but also an economic opportunity. As the world shifts towards more sustainable practices, investors and businesses will increasingly seek green investment opportunities. African capital markets have the potential to play a significant role in channeling funds into projects that combat climate change and promote environmental sustainability. If you didn't hear anything of my statement, please, just this paragraph is enough for you. You know, just see the opportunity therein. As we have this conversation globally, and that is why even we have the COP28, as we have this global conversation, know that the opportunity exists and you are at the intersection of that opportunity. As government, finally, we will do our part In the context of all these trends, it is vital for governments to actively support the growth and development of capital markets. And as I told you in Kenya, I have promised the capital markets here that we will reorganize the law. The law gave us problems. We have now sorted out the law. We have identified the first 35 companies that we are going to offer to the private sector. We have close to another 100 that we are working with our financial advisors on what to do and what portions to let out. For example, we have very otherwise would be lucrative companies, but they are trapped in government bureaucracy, when the services they are offering can actually be better offered by the private sector. So we will make these opportunities available, and I want to tell our Kenyan private sector, the public, that opportunity is coming for them to be part of the cake that we have all baked as Kenyans by being part owners of some of our good companies or buying some of the companies that would better be run by the private sector and allow government to do what we must do. It is very instructive for me because I know very well that if we can unlock the potential in many of the companies, especially those that are trapped in government bureaucracy, allow them to flourish as private sector companies, they will employ more people, they will generate more resources, and they will pay more taxes. Yeah, I know that's a very important subject in Kenya nowadays. Governments can play, as I said, a crucial role by implementing favorable policies, regulatory frameworks, and infrastructure to facilitate the expansion and integration of our markets. Initiatives such as tax incentives, simplified regulation processes, and fostering financial literacy can significantly contribute to market growth. I would want to know from the Kenyan markets players what additionally they want us to do as government so that we can make it easier for them, agile, flexible, for them to do more in our capital markets. Furthermore, partnerships between governments and market participants, including exchanges and regulators, can lead to more effective market development. Supportive regulatory frameworks, investor protection, and innovative financing mechanisms are also essential for the sustainability of our capital markets. As we discussed today, vital themes and unlocking Africa's stock exchange potential for sustainable economic development, I encourage all stakeholders in our capital markets to collaborate, innovate, and adhere to the highest standards of ethics and responsibility. Our future, ladies and gentlemen, and the prosperity of our great continent depends on the health and vitality of our markets. Today, I have recognized 10 companies joining the unquoted security market segments of NSE, Nairobi Stock Exchange, also, or Nairobi Security Exchange, as I was told, also known as Soko Rahisi. This is a key development for the country, noting that the growth of our economies will be funded by these segments of our economy, with the MSME sector comprising 80% of our formal economy. My government will continue to support this key sector. I want to encourage companies to tap into the capital markets to power the growth of their companies and also our economy. In conclusion, let me express my utmost confidence in the future of African capital markets. With our collective determination and the dedication of all those present here today, we can build markets that are transparent, efficient, and impactful, capable of driving economic growth and fostering sustainable development. I wish you all a successful and productive conference, and I look forward to witnessing the positive change and progress that will undoubtedly emerge from the exchanges and discussions that will take place here. Thank you very much, and may our capital markets continue to be the engines of growth and prosperity for Africa. Unfortunately, I won't be here to take part in the round tables here and the other exchanges, but I look forward to another opportunity to engage with you. My very best wishes. Welcome to Kenya. Enjoy your time here, and please give us some positive results. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Your Excellency, sir, as you make your way down stage. Your Excellency, sir, we would like to invite you to witness a live trading. This way, sir. We'd love to invite you to witness a live cross-border trade between Dyer and Blair and BVRM. BVRM is an integrated stock exchange common to 8 West African countries. And Lina Tonui, who is the Africa Project Linkages Manager, will take you through it. You may please have your seats. The trade will be broadcasted on the screens in front of you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You did speak about the African Exchanges Linkage Project, and we are glad to inform you that we have interconnected 7 exchanges to a trading... Hello? Oh, okay, sorry. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, as you mentioned, the African Exchanges Linkage Project, which is a key initiative of the African Securities Exchanges Association and the Africa Development Bank, we are pleased to walk you through a live trade. So this is the terminal. It's called the AELP Link. And on this terminal, the brokers who are participating in the project, we currently have 35 broker members from 7 exchanges that are interconnected, but we have a total of 9 exchanges that are participating in the project. So brokers from the different markets are able to see all the exchanges. They can, choose a different market and then place a trade. So today, Your Excellency, we are working with Diane Blair in Nairobi, who will receive a trade and place a trade from the BRVM market. And we are very honored to have all the members here. But then BRVM will be joining us online if we're not able to broadcast them at this point, but then they have already placed a trade. So Peter will show us the trade that has come in from them. So the broker from whichever market places a trade, and now it has come into the Kenyan market. So Peter will accept the trade. Peter, you may go ahead. It has been staged.
Okay, Your Excellency, this is the AELP platform. We have received an order to buy 2,000 Safaricom shares from FGI in Cote d'Ivoire. So the order has come in. It appears as staged. So all we need to do from our end is accept the trade. So I'll just go ahead to accept the trade. It says, do you want to approve the order to buy 2,000 Safaricom shares for that client? Then we'll say yes. So the order has been accepted. So once we refresh, it shows that the status is now accepted. So the order has come to our market. So all I'll need to do from my end is push the order from DFN, from the AELP platform, to our market live in Nairobi, which is already open. So I'll proceed to create the order. It's 2,000 shares, placing at a price of 13.70 for Safaricom. Then we'll proceed to buy. Once we click on buy, the order goes through. So I'll just click buy and confirm the order. As you can see, the status has now changed from accepted to filled. So now the client from BRVM has 2,000 shares of Safaricom.
Your Excellency, thank you. We request you to ring the bell at this stage, and I want to request the President of ASEA, the Chairman of the Capital Markets, the Chairman of the NSE, and Geoffrey as well, our NSE CEO, and the Cabinet Secretary as well. Please join the President in ringing the bell as we have this session of marking the 30 years of ASEA as you ring that bell. Your Excellency, because as you said, you confirmed this at the last minute, I'm going to just do a count, and then you will ring it in. In 3, 2, 1, please, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. This marks the 30 years of us there. We're going to have a quick photo session right there. I will start with that photo the way it is, just a quick photo there.